of us will see some needles or some ads on Instagram, especially on Instagram. Some Instagram vendors will be like, oh, this needle can automatically thread a machine. You will buy. You will see that, oh, this seam ripper is not just a seam ripper, it is a seam ripper. It is an iron, it's used to iron clothes, it used to straighten clothes, it used to starch clothes. In fact, it can sew the clothes by itself for you. You will buy. Some of us will see some rulers, you know you don't need it, but by the time the person in who is selling the stuff, of course, they want to sell their market, will market it for you, you will buy. You will just be buying, as if you're a scavenger. What is wrong with you? In this video, I'm just going to tell you guys some sewing tools you should not bother buying because you're just wasting your money. Sincerely, you are. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ada Oju and this is Stitchadress, where I do sewing tutorials, sewing tips, sewing tricks, and fashion business tips. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about sewing tools you don't really need, sewing tools you shouldn't really spend your money buying. Yeah, you shouldn't. Based on my own, I have to even put a disclaimer because some people are going to come to the comment section and say, Ada, all these things you are saying, me, I use my own every day. I use my own every day. It is a lie. Well, I'm going to put a disclaimer that these are sewing tools I feel you shouldn't waste your money buying because you end up not using them as often as you should. The first sewing tool you should not waste your money buying, you should not really buy, is bias maker. And I know a lot of you are not going to agree with me, but here is my point. How many of you that have bought a bias maker, how many times have you made a bias with your bias maker? Compare it to the times you've used already made bias. How many times have you used your bias maker? Some of us just buy it, we use it once or twice, we end up not using it again. We tend to use bias, as in already made bias, than the ones we make with the bias maker. And buying a bias maker, it's not like it's bad. It is not bad. But the problem I have with buying unnecessary sewing tools is you buy some sewing tools, you end up not using them for like a year or 2 years. They just become like items of decoration in your house. For me, I make my bias every single time I want to do like custom. Like if I want to make a bias for this fabric, I make my bias and I don't use a bias maker. A lot of people buy bias makers and they don't even make bias as much as they don't make custom made bias as much as they use already made bias. So one sewing tool you shouldn't really buy is a bias maker, because trust me, you won't use it as much as you thought or as much as you are thinking you would use it. Okay, another sewing tool you should not waste your money. This one, don't even waste your money, don't think about it, don't dream it, is your steam press roller. See, I'm going to put a picture of that thing here. That thing, some people say they use it to open up their seams, they use it in place of an iron. Please, when you're pressing iron, we still open up your seam, we give it a cool, a really crisp and smooth press. Your seam will be well laid, very smooth. Why do you need a seam? Why do you need a seam presser? A seam roller presser? A seam press roller? Why do you need it? I just feel, personally, I feel a seam, press roller is a waste of money, because your pressing iron can as well do what you want your seam press roller to do for you. So one sewing tool you shouldn't invest your money in buying is a seam press roller. Now you might buy it and the first week, the second week you use it, but over time you realize that you're not using this seam press roller as much as you are using your iron. Your pressing iron does a lot, like a lot for you compared to your seam press roller. So you really don't need to buy it. Seam press roller is the second sewing tool you shouldn't waste your money buying. Whether the pet vendor who is selling the seam press roller is singing it like Michael Jackson's song, telling you how to help your sewing journey, don't buy it. But if after watching this video you still want to buy it, buy it. It's your business. Another sewing tool you shouldn't waste your money buying is the clapper. In fact, the first time I saw this, I'm like, why do I need to buy a clapper when a sewing machine, why do I need to buy a clapper when my pressing iron is doing exactly what this clapper is doing for me? I watched some reviews about the clapper, and some people are like, oh, it helps to define your seam line, number one. Number two, it helps to get the heat really, really into the fabric. It really helps to smoothen out the fabric. It helps to put everything in place. And I'm like, all these things you people have mentioned is what your pressing iron does for you. If you feel like you really, really want the steam to go into, maybe you really want the steam to go into the fabric, you had to use your steam iron, and you want to reduce the heat a little bit, or you want to pound it in a little more. What I do is I switch from steam iron to dry iron, because my steam iron is both steam and dry. Okay, now, so if I have an option where I can switch from steam iron to dry iron, or reduce the amount of steam that goes in, or my iron, even without switching from steam to dry iron, if I just using my steam iron, it still gets the work done. The heat still gets into the fabric. It still smoothens it out. The heat still penetrates. It still makes my seam line well laid. It still keeps everything in place. So I don't see any reason why I should buy a clapper. Sincerely, another sewing tool you should not waste your money buying is a clapper. Everything a clapper will do for you, your steaming iron will do that and more. So there's no need buying a clapper, except you guys let me know in the comment section if you have another reason why you use a clapper, maybe apart from these ones I've highlighted, because trust me, these are sewing tools you should not waste your money buying, because by the time you finish buying junk and junk, when you now want to buy main sewing tools, maybe you want to buy another machine or another weaving machine, you want to buy a mannequin, you have used all your money to buy pinch up things, and when the necessary things have come, you are not buying them. And the thing is, when you buy these things, a lot of the times we just pack them in our homes and we end up not using them. That is the annoying thing. Another sewing tool you shouldn't waste your money buying is the bodice and sleeve template. Now this comes in form of a calibrated ruler. Okay, it has measurement all over. It has some curves for your dart, it has your neckline. And when I looked at this ruler, I'm like, this is a total waste of money. You know why, guys? You can draft your bodies, your sleeve pattern, your body blocks pattern by yourself. If you want something really permanent, you can draft it with your cardboard, or maybe your this really, really thick boards, if you want something that is long lasting and everything. When it comes to sewing, I always tell people, when you learn the basics of sewing, you know how to draft your neckline, your shoulder slant, your armhole, you will not need to spend money buying some unnecessary things, because you will see them and like, what is the use? For example, these bodies and sleeve template ruler, you really don't have to buy it, because you can make yours and keep. And one of the disadvantages, okay, they will tell you that it can draft from size 6 to size 12. What if you want to sew for a size 24? You want to sew for a size 25 or size 28 or 32? That bodice block will be useless to you. So this bodies and sleeve template ruler is one sewing tool you should not waste your money buying. Okay, if you want to make your permanent bodies block, or you want to draft a bodies block that can work for maybe from a size 6 to a size 10, you can as well draft that on a cardboard. Use your, what's this thing called, what's that thing used for transferring pattern? Is this seam ripper? No, not seam ripper. I've forgotten. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. So you can as well, draft your bodies block on a cardboard that you can use some other time. Getting this ruler that after a while you find out that you're not even using it for anything. Maybe you use it the first and the second day and you're so wow, they're like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Oh my god, I've been using this and it's been helping me. Just give it 1 month. Give it 2 months. Give it 3 months. Will you be using it as often as your sewing machine every day? No. And that's a total waste of money. So one sewing tool you shouldn't waste your money buying is the bodies and sleeve template ruler. Okay, now another sewing tool, and this one is a little tricky, and I'm going to talk about it in 2 ways, is the electric scissors or electric cutter. Now I always tell people, if you are not really, really into ready to wear, where you have to cut like piles and piles of fabric at once, you really don't need the electric scissors. You don't need it, because you will not use it. You will not want to cut 2 folds and you're using your electric scissors. Okay, so one sewing tool you shouldn't waste your money buying if you're an independent tailor, if you don't do bulk orders that you have to make one pattern. Maybe you will have to make 50 skirts one size and you have to cut everything at once. you shouldn't waste your money buying an electric scissors, because sometimes on Facebook groups you see somebody who is just learning how to sew say, oh, I want to buy an electric scissors, and they buy it and they end up not using it. If you are into ready to wear, or if you are like into, you are now into like the dressmaking business in full, where you know that from time to time you get bulk orders, then you can buy the electric scissors. But if you are just starting out and you've not started getting a lot of orders that you can still cut with your normal scissors, my dear, don't bother buying an electric scissors. Or if for now you're not really doing exotic styles that demands precision when you have to cut, maybe you want to do this, you guys know this, there's this trend that came up last year where they'll fold lots of folds of maybe tulle or organza, and they have to cut it once. If you're not doing those kind of crazy designs, you're not doing, something that you need to cut several layers, you really don't need to buy an electric scissors, because you are wasting your money. Now, something I have to say to you guys is, when it comes to dressmaking, only buy tools that you need. Buy tools that you need, not tools that you want. Ask yourself, what is the frequency of the usage of this tool if I buy it? Like, how frequent am I going to use this tool if I buy it? If it's something that maybe you use it once in a year or maybe once in 2 years, you really shouldn't buy it, okay? Your clapper, your bias maker, your your seam roller, your basic bodice template, the ruler, the basic bodice template ruler, you really don't need all those things. Okay, so you shouldn't waste your money buying them. These are just a few I saw on the internet that I decided to come and tell you guys about. Feel free to drop some ridiculous sewing tools that you've seen on the internet, or you bought that you're not using as much. Like, you bought them, you thought you need them, but in the end you found out that they were not useful. Let me drop them in the comment section. Let me also know, if you have a bias tape maker, right? Let me know how often you use your bias tape maker. Do you use it as often as you use already made bias? Okay, let me also know in the comment section sewing tools that you bought that you use every day and they're a lifesaver to you. Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I want to get to 100k this year. We're already at 91, so let us, because we're a family, let us get to 100k subscribers this year, and I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you watch my other videos. Bye guys.